Bule asal Jerman ini yang sedang berada di Malaysia. Segala situasi di Malaysia mengubah ia menjadi perilaku yang lebih baik, lebih bersahabat, ramah dan mudah berbagi ilmu serta informasi. Saat di Jerman ia sangat bahagia guys, karena dia sangat bangga dengan negaranya itu. Karena Jerman adalah negara yang besar, memiliki sejarah besar, dan telah menjadi negara maju. Namun saat dia berada di Malaysia, dia mulai merasa bahwa ternyata ada banyak sekali kekurangan negaranya berbanding negara Malaysia selama ini. Ingin sekali ia katakan ini kepada seluruh rakyat yang ada di Jerman. Lalu ia memposting video ini di kanal YouTube miliknya agar diketahui oleh semua orang termasuk orang Jerman. Agar kekurangan ini dapat segera tertutupi, tirulah seperti Malaysia yang berhasil menjadikan rakyatnya menuju arah yang lebih baik saat ini. Nah, lantas kelebihan apa saja yang dimiliki Malaysia yang wajib ditiru oleh Jerman untuk kesejahteraan negaranya? Kita saksikan video ini.
Introduce you to 10 things that I personally believe Germany can learn from Malaysia. And it comes from my own personal experience. I lived in Asia and Malaysia for over 30 years. And I still have relatives in Germany that I visit every now and then. So I believe that I'm in a position to give you some insights about Germany and Malaysia. Some of the things I'm going to share with you might leave you with a smile on your face. And you might say like, yeah, that's so true. I never thought of that before. Congratulations if you do this. Some other parts might be a little bit more in the face. And here, have an open mind. Some of the things you might not even have thought about before. And it's like, whoa, never realized that before. It comes from a good heart from my side. And it's really helping you to gain new insights. And I hope that you understand that. If you choose to comment, I really would appreciate if you would comment in a positive sense. Be polite in your responses, because whatever you comment, it only reflects on you. So with this being said, let's get started, shall we? Well, the first thing I want to share with you is really about shoes. Shoes, nothing else but shoes. And I don't need the shoes anymore, so let me just throw this away for a while. Germans leave their shoes on when they are entering a house of a relative or a friend. They don't take off the shoes. I don't know where it's coming from. And of course I did the same when I lived in Germany, and also initially when I came to Malaysia, until friends told me, take off your shoes. You see, I didn't get the shoe back. Shoes are dirty, and if you walk on the street or hey, in a park or even in a forest, and then you are entering a house, you don't even know the kind of dirt you are bringing into that house. Streets are not clean. There is normal rubbish from food, glass, spit, as disgusting as it might sound, people spit. Dogs might have done their business on the street, and even so the owner hopefully cleaned up the street, and after them still some stuff might be left behind. People go into a public restroom and then go back onto the street with their shoes being dirty, and then go wherever they wanted to go. And all that stuff you're bringing into people's house. Why? Shoes are dirty. The sole is full of bacteria and other messy stuff. Take them off. That's the only thing you need to take off. Why do you leave it on? Are you scared you have a hole in your sock? I'd rather have somebody with a hole in their sock than walking into my home with a shoe on. And here in Malaysia, I was made aware to take off my shoes, and I really love the habit. Even in some offices, my office, you better take off your shoes.
Itu pun tak sopan juga apabila masuk ke rumah orang
office.
Memakai
So that's
sepatu,
point number
guys.
one. Take off the shoes.
Ini
The second point
keterkaitan
I want
juga
to
dengan
share
adab
with
ya.
you is also putting a smile on your face. I hope. In Germany, everything's been eaten with a fork and a knife. Everything, aside from the soup, of course. But you're eating fork and knife, the vegetables and the steak and the potatoes and everything. Fork and knife. And I did this initially as well when I came to Malaysia. I was wondering why people around me would eat with a fork and a spoon. I was wondering why a waiter would bring me a fork and a spoon until I learned to use a fork and a spoon. And it's so much easier to eat everything with a fork and spoon. It makes so much more sense. And when friends visit me in Malaysia, they actually see the reason why it's easier to eat with a fork and a spoon. They say if you are eating with a fork and a spoon in Germany, people would think like you won't have manners. Don't do it. I think it's much more easy, much more logical to eat with a fork and a spoon.
There you go. You got it.
Just try and realize that to eat with a fork and spoon is so much easier, all in all. Germany, end of the 21st century. I still have to deal with German institutions. So I'm sending them an email. And so many times do I get a response back from them. We received your email, we can't give you the information. Send a mail. A mail. Or can you fax us your details? A fax. That happens even when I want to just change a password to access their websites. Not possible. It's the 21st century. And so preparing for this video, I was wondering how come German companies still use fax? And I found the number that 82% of companies still use fax in their business dealings. 82%. It's an astonishing number, isn't it? So for whatever reasons, try to enter the 21st century, increase your efficiency, respond back faster to your customers or clients via email only. That's so much faster here in Malaysia. When I need to change a password, when I have a dealing with a Malaysian institution, it goes like that. Faster, 1 day, 2 days, done deal. Germans make friends easier. I remember one day way back when I just arrived in Malaysia in 1993. I was sitting somewhere alone by myself. Might be a pub or a restaurant. I can't remember that anymore. And I got to talk to a person. And when somebody else joined him, a friend of his, he instantly introduced me as his friend. I got to know this guy only for maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And I became his friend. In Germany, it's a long process to become a friend. It can take days, weeks, months, maybe even years. I remember my father who had a colleague who lived somewhere else. And when this colleague of his visited Frankfurt, my hometown, he was also invited to my parents' home for dinner or for coffee. And for many years, they stayed at a very formal level, addressing themselves with a surname. So like my name is Andreas Dorn, they would call themselves Mr. Dorn and Mr. whatever my father's colleague's name was. It took them years until they moved to first name basis. Now that's a long time back, of course, and maybe things have changed. But I do know Germans take a long time to make friends. Change that. It's not difficult. It's not about a marriage. It's just about becoming friends. So let's move to the next point. Germans, you need to learn to smile more often. I always like to say that I have been expelled from Germany because I'm smiling too often. In Malaysia, people smile. It's not that they're smiling for no reason whatsoever, but it's just a much more relaxed attitude here. Malaysians get things done, but they're doing it with a smile.
Oke, kita pause sini. Maka belajarlah dari orang Malaysia tentang keramahannya, tentang mudah senyum kepada orang lain ya guys ya. Itu yang diungkapkan oleh Ahmad Saleh asal Jerman ini. 30 tahun ia di Malaysia, ia rasakan hanya kebahagiaan yang ada di sana. Jerman harus banyak belajar. Oke, kita play lagi. Like,
to be stern, have a hard time smiling. It's been said that Germans have a very strange kind of humor and somehow always feel a little bit stiff. It takes the Germans a long time to loosen up. Why? For reasons out of my knowledge. If you know any of the reasons why Germans don't smile, let me know in the comments. I would be curious as well. Somewhat in relation to this one comes the next point. It's been said that if you put a group of Germans together, they surely start to complain. Complain about anything. Favorite topic is the weather. The weather is bad. Politics is bad. The economy is bad. The world is bad. The national football team is getting worse and worse. Traffic is horrible. The German trains always come too late. If you are overseas and you meet another German, for sure you can start complaining about holidays. And drastically speaking, if something goes wrong, Germans like to threaten with a lawsuit. Put a group of Germans together and they for sure start to complain. It's part of the social fabric. It's part of building rapport with each other. The social fabric in Malaysia very different. In Malaysia, the social fabric is made up by food. How is it in Malaysia when you meet a friend? What do you say? Sudah makan? Have you eaten already? So here in Malaysia, so much easier. Food is the main topic that makes up the social fabric, to build rapport with a group of people. So Germans, stop complaining and look at the world a bit differently with a smile. Stop complaining, find some positive stuff around you. Life becomes easier for everybody, not just for you. Now, I'm not saying that Germans should become like Malaysians, but they can learn to take things easier. Usually things are not as bad as it seems like initially, and everything goes easier with a relaxed mind. Number 7, the importance of family. Something I only learned when I came to Malaysia, or better say, relearned. The importance of family. Family counts, and the family and the status of family has declined in Germany. Malaysian families stick together, and often they are even staying together in the same house or condominium. Something, of course, I can't expect from Germany. But during religious celebrations and festivals, families in Malaysia come together. Families somehow have a different status here, and I really appreciate this. I lost track with nearly all my uncles and aunties in Germany, most likely because I'm living here. But I think it also happens to my sister and my brother. Somehow we lose touch with our relatives. In contrast to this, I sometimes get overwhelmed during Malaysian festivals and religious celebrations, when the whole family comes together, all the uncles and aunties. And it's not that they are meeting constantly throughout the year, sometimes just once in a year, but it feels then like they're coming together and no time has passed since the last visit. Sitting together, eating together, laughing together, sharing stories. It's just amazing to see. So I strongly support, as interesting as it might sound, that families in Germany should come together again, to spend time with each other and connect once again. Number 8, in the cities, it's most likely more in the rural areas. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but still, it's worthwhile considering it. There's something to learn here from Malaysia. It's about the feeling of getting together, to celebrate and to enjoy just being together, spending time together. Share food, laugh away, have fun. Learn from it, Germany, and open your doors, at least to your neighbors. Number 9, something dear to my heart, cultural diversity. Malaysia is culturally diverse. You've got the Malays, you've got the Chinese, you've got the Indians, and you've got all the different indigenous groups. They have their own celebrations, but they come together as one. This is part of the cultural fabric in Malaysia, and I was amazed by it when I arrived here in Malaysia. Amazed how easy different groups come together and enjoy each other's presence, going beyond ethnic boundaries, going beyond religion, going beyond different cultures. And yes, I do know and I recognize there are challenges in Malaysia, just like they are in many different countries. And it always happens because we all have different interpretations, looking at the world differently, from different beliefs, different value systems, different upbringings. But it's amazing how everyone in Malaysia stresses culture cultural diversity and
Menakjubkan,
friendships beyond their own group. The way they interact and respect each other, it's just amazing. If things go wrong, they talk, they find a compromise, they relax and go beyond. They are peaceful. There's no better way to describe this. And you know stories where Malaysians help each other out when there's a need. Think about the white flag movement during the COVID crisis. It encouraged families in dire needs to hang a white flag outside their homes like a call for help. And how Malaysians rallied together to help people get over their problems. I get goosebumps just thinking about that. Malaysians came together as one. Think about the times when the Malaysian states declared emergencies because of floods and how people traveled long distances to just help out. Or just a couple of days ago when Malaysians got stuck in major traffic jams traveling back to their hometowns, stuck in traffic for hours. And some unselfish people came out to help them stuck in traffic with food, with water, and even offering toilets free of charge. You know such stories. Feel free to share them in the comments. It would be so important to share those stories for the rest of the world to see. Germany for a long time believed they are a multicultural country, a very diverse country. I believed it until I arrived here in Malaysia. Malaysia is a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-linguistic country, and those groups can maintain their own identity, and it's cherished and celebrated. And this is surely something Germany can learn from Malaysia. The way Malaysians live together as one is a shining example for the rest of the world to learn from.
Wow, sampai merinding aku guys ya. Ia katakan wajib rakyat Malaysia untuk belajar atau rakyat Jerman wajib belajar kepada orang-orang Malaysia
And if
guys.
you speak more than just your mother tongue, you expand your horizon. And because Malaysia has such great diversity, Malaysians speak more than 2 languages. There is Bahasa Malay and English. Aside from this, you have the many Chinese dialects, and there are many different Indian dialects. And languages are taught to Malaysians from birth onwards. Kids thus get exposed to different languages even before they themselves learn to speak. Do you realize how this expands the mental horizon of the individual? I learned my first foreign language when I was 12 years old, and that was the beginning of secondary school. I read somewhere in the internet nowadays Germans learn English already in primary school, and that's fine. However, this is already beyond the initial imprint period of children. To widen
Betul
new
guys,
horizon
Indonesia
as a
juga
German,
seperti itu.
to the Germans watching these videos, learn more languages. Number 11. Now what is number 11 all about? I've already mentioned 10 points that Germany can learn from Malaysia. But you watching this video, maybe you know 1 more point or 2 more points of what Germany can learn from Malaysia. What Malaysia can teach, maybe not just Germany, but the world. Write this down in the comments right now, because that's worthwhile documenting. Because surely I probably forgot a couple of points, and I don't want to miss the opportunity in this video to share more of what Malaysia can teach the world. So I'm going off to prepare the next video, which will be very exciting, and I hope you are going to watch this as well. But until then, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friends. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, terima kasih.
Dan guys, jangan
Jumpa
lupa
lagi.
berkunjung juga ke
Bye-bye.
channel tersebut. Link udah aku letakkan di deskripsi. Dan di sini aku ingin mengatakan bahwa aku juga turut bangga guys. Aku juga sangat bangga dengan prestasi apa yang dilakukan selama ini oleh rakyat Malaysia. Dan Mat Saleh ini secara terang-terangan mengatakan bahwa orang-orang yang ada di negaranya atau di negara Jerman itu patut untuk meniru bagaimana adab atau situasi yang dilakukan di negara Malaysia guys. Ada banyak hal tadi yang ia bahas, termasuk juga tentang multikultural dan juga ada kuliner ya guys ya. Dan ia cakap ada 10 hal yang harus dipelajari Jerman dari Malaysia dalam 10 hal ini guys ya. Yang pertama itu tentang membuka sepatu saat masuk rumah. Nah, ini juga termasuk tentang adab ya guys ya. Jika kita masuk rumah sendiri, oke lah. Tapi kalau kita masuk rumah orang, tentunya kita harus melepas kasut atau sepatu ya guys ya. Karena kita juga harus menghormati rumah orang lain, menjaga kebersihan juga ya guys ya. Terus kemudian adalah makanan dengan sendok dan garpu. Karena orang-orang di Jerman itu jika makan semua melakukannya menggunakan garpu dan pisau. Dan Mat Saleh ini bilang bahwa lebih mudah jika itu dilakukan dengan sendok pengganti pisau ya guys ya. Dan yang ketiga, ia juga cakap tentang lebih efisien saat berurusan dengan lembaga di Malaysia. Karena di Jerman guys ya, ada banyak sekali aturan-aturan atau proses yang harus menunggu waktu yang cukup lama ya guys ya, jika kita berurusan dengan lembaga terkait. Namun tidak jika berada di Malaysia itu lebih cepat ya guys ya, lebih efisien saat berurusan dengan lembaga-lembaga yang ada di Malaysia. Itu dia rasa sudah sangat membantu untuk aktivitasnya sehari-hari guys ya. Karena dengan kemudahan itu. Nah, yang keempat ia cakap tentang mudahnya membuat pertemanan. Nah, di sana guys ya, di Malaysia tentunya semua orang friendly, orang manapun maupun orang luar. Jika ia berniat baik tentu disambut dengan sangat baik guys ya. Jika kita ingin berteman kepada orang Malaysia itu tidak susah ya guys ya. Di kedai makan atau restoran pun bisa kita berteman kepada siapa saja di sana ya guys ya. Dan selanjutnya ia katakan bahwa orang Malaysia itu mudah senyum. Ya, orang Malaysia itu memang sangat ramah-ramah ya guys ya, mudah senyum, tersenyum kepada siapa saja. Namun tak mungkin juga kalau orang itu tersenyum terus kita cemberut ya guys ya. Maka kita sesuaikan juga lah dengan senyuman itu ya. Karena memang orang Malaysia itu sesungguhnya mudah untuk berteman. Dan selanjutnya dia cakap adalah tentang di Malaysia jika bertemu orang topik utamanya tentang kuliner. Nah, kenapa tentang kuliner ya guys ya? Ada apa? Tentunya karena di Malaysia itu penuh dengan keberagaman ya guys ya. Ada banyak etnis, budaya, dan juga lain-lain. Itu mengakibatkan juga banyaknya jenis makanan yang ada di sana. Makanya itu jika orang ada berkumpul di sana, pasti membahas tentang makanan. Karena makanan ini sudah sangat banyak, sudah sangat kaya, dan topiknya itu beragam-ragam tentang makanan. Nah, hal lainnya lagi yang ia cakap tadi, jika ada perayaan besar, silaturahim kepada semua orang, bukan hanya kepada keluarga dekat. Nah, dia katakan bahwa jika ada perayaan besar, jika ada Natal dan hari-hari besar lainnya, termasuk Tahun Baru, kalau di Jerman itu perayaannya hanya dirayakan kepada keluarga-keluarga dekat saja guys ya. Namun ia rasakan itu sangat berbeda jika ia berada di Malaysia, karena semua orang itu bisa merayakannya bersama-sama ya guys ya. Maksudnya jika dia merayakan hari raya Natal itu bisa merayakan kepada tetangga atau juga sahabat yang juga beragama Kristiani. Seperti itu ya guys ya keterangannya. Dan hal lainnya lagi ia cakap tentang pentingnya keluarga. Jika di Jerman kurang komunikasi kepada keluarga ya guys ya. Jadi kurang ada kontak-kontak kalau di Jerman tuh dengan keluarga yang lain ya guys, atau dengan paman, dengan bibi, dan dengan adik-adik itu kurang komunikasi guys ya. Nah, mungkin saat komunikasinya itu jika mereka bertemu di acara-acara seperti ini guys ya, seperti Natal dan juga Tahun Baru. Hanya itu saja kalau di Jerman. Nah, kalau di Malaysia itu bisa mereka berkomunikasi kapan saja, video call atau bagaimanapun, tetap mereka tidak hilang komunikasi guys ya. Itu juga menjadi hal yang paling ia kagumi saat berada di Malaysia. Nah, yang kesembilan ia kata tentang toleransi, ya, kerukunan, damai walau beda suku, etnis, dan agama. Nah, di Malaysia itu sudah kita kenal tentang perbedaan. Namun perbedaan itu menjadi mereka sangat rukun ya guys ya. Dengan banyaknya etnis, banyaknya agama di sana. Namun mereka tetap bersatu, kompak, dan saling mendukung. Nah, itu adalah salah satu juga yang sangat dikagumi oleh Mat Saleh Jerman itu guys. Nah, yang terakhir dia cakap tentang di Malaysia bisa lebih dari 2 bahasa. Nah, ada bahasa ibu, ada bahasa Inggris. Nah, kalau orang Chinese juga bahasa Mandarin, orang India ada bahasanya ya guys ya. Nah, di sana ada banyak sekali tentang orang jika membahas tentang bahasa ini guys ya. Karena di sana pengetahuan orang sangat tinggi. Ia sangat mengakui guys ya tentang pendidikan di Malaysia itu sangat tinggi dan banyak sekali orang berbahasa lain. Nah, kalau di Jerman itu ia akui bahwa memang di pendidikan di sekolah itu juga mengajarkan bahasa Inggris, namun tidak diimplementasikan saat kehidupan sehari-hari, guys ya. Beda hal kalau di Malaysia, jika bahasa Inggris itu memang bukan hanya dipelajari di sekolah saja, namun juga dilakukan di kehidupan sehari-hari. Jadi memang sudah biasalah mereka mengucapkan atau berbahasa lain daripada bahasa Melayu, guys ya. Oke, demikian tadi video dari aku. Semoga Anda semua terhibur dengan video ini dan aku sangat terkejut, kaget karena apa yang dikatakan bule ini memang betul-betul membuat bangga. Aku aja bangga, apalagi rakyat Malaysia, guys ya. Dan aku mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan dan kekurangan. Aku mohon undur diri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.